Assalamu Alaikum and welcome back to MJ Stories Creation. In the previous episode, we explored the childhood of Mehmed and how he was prepared for leadership from an early age. Today, we continue the story and discover how a young prince, only 12 years old, unexpectedly found himself sitting on one of the most powerful thrones in the world. If you enjoy true Islamic history and historical storytelling, don't forget to subscribe to MJ Stories Creation. Now let's continue our journey. By the year 1444, the Ottoman Empire was one of the strongest states in the region. Its territories stretched across parts of Europe and Anatolia, and its armies were respected throughout the known world. At that time, the empire was ruled by Sultan Murad. For years, Murad had led military campaigns and dealt with political challenges both inside and outside the empire. But in 1444, something unexpected happened. After signing a peace treaty with the Kingdom of Hungary and other European powers, Murad decided to step away from the throne. The exact reasons are debated by historians, but many sources suggest that he wished to retire temporarily from active rule and devote more time to a quiet life. As a result, the 12-year-old Prince Mehmed was declared the new Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. Imagine the situation. A boy barely entering his teenage years was now responsible for an empire that stretched across continents. Although Mehmed carried the title of Sultan, experienced statesmen and military commanders continued to assist him in governing. The empire's senior officials understood that the young ruler still had much to learn. However, the news of Murad's retirement quickly spread across Europe. Many European rulers saw an opportunity. They believed that the Ottoman Empire had become vulnerable. After all, how could a 12-year-old boy defend such a vast empire? Soon, a coalition of European forces began preparing for war. The peace agreement that had recently been signed was effectively abandoned. A large army was assembled with the intention of challenging Ottoman power. This growing threat created serious concerns among Ottoman leaders. The empire faced a dangerous situation. While a young sultan sat on the throne, experienced enemies were preparing to attack. As tensions increased, Ottoman officials realized that the situation might be too difficult for the young Mehmed to handle alone. Messages were sent to Murad urging him to return and lead the army. According to historical accounts, Mehmed himself supported the idea. The empire needed an experienced commander. Murad eventually returned and took command of the Ottoman military. His return would prove crucial. In November 1444, the Ottoman army faced the European coalition in the famous Battle of Varna. The battle ended in a decisive Ottoman victory. The invading army was defeated and the immediate threat to the empire was removed. For the Ottomans, it was a significant moment. It demonstrated that the empire remained strong despite the temporary change in leadership. Although Murad had returned to military leadership, Mehmed continued gaining valuable experience. He observed how major political decisions were made. He witnessed the realities of war and diplomacy. Most importantly, he began to understand the enormous responsibility that came with ruling an empire. For a young prince, these lessons were invaluable. They taught him that leadership was not merely about authority. It required patience, wisdom, and the ability to make difficult decisions during times of crisis. In the years that followed, Murad resumed his position as the empire's primary ruler. Mehmed returned to his studies and continued preparing for the future. Rather than viewing his brief time on the throne as a failure, he used it as an opportunity to learn. He studied military science for deeply. He continued learning languages. He expanded his knowledge of history, geography, and statecraft. The experience of becoming sultan at such a young age had changed him. He now understood the challenges that awaited future rulers, and he became determined to prepare himself better than ever before. Meanwhile, one city continued to occupy his thoughts: Constantinople, the legendary city that had resisted countless sieges. The city, protected by massive walls and centuries of history, many rulers had dreamed of conquering it. Many armies had failed, but young Mehmed was becoming increasingly fascinated by the challenge. He studied its defenses. He learned about previous attempts to capture it. He examined maps and historical records, while others saw an impossible fortress. Mehmed began to see a future goal, a dream, a mission, one that would eventually make his name known across the world. In 1451, when Mehmed was 19 years old, fate would once again place the Ottoman throne in his hands. This time, however, he would not be a child. He would be a determined young ruler with experience, education, and a vision for the future. And this second reign would change the course of history forever. But before he could conquer Constantinople, he first had to secure his empire and prepare for the greatest challenge of his life. That story begins in the next episode. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to continue exploring through Islamic history through engaging storytelling, subscribe to MG Stories Creation and turn on notifications. In the next episode, we will discover how Mehmed returned to the throne and began preparing for the conquest of Constantinople. Until then, Assalamu Alaikum.